Baseball Champions League America 2025 gets started next Tuesday, April 8th at Estadio Alfredo Arpelu in Mexico City. The event will go on for 6 days, with a champion crowned on Sunday, April 13th. Champion teams from 6 different leagues in 6 different countries will participate. Those leagues are the Mexican League, LMB, the Cuban National Series, the American Association, Puerto Rico AA League, Curacao AA League, and the Pomares League in Nicaragua. This is only the second time for this event. The first one was in October of 2023, also held in Mexico, with the previous year's champions from Mexico, Cuba, the American Association, and the Colombian Winter League. That was won by the American Association's Fargo Moorhead Redhawks. Now in 2025, the event returns to Mexico. I think this means Mexico will always be the host. Just like the US always hosts the final round of the WBC, Japan always gets the Premier 12, Taiwan always has the Under 12 World Cup. It makes sense too, the Mexican League is just about to start its 90-game regular season. It's like a preseason tournament for one LMB team. But if you had them traveling to and from another country, it would really be a burden trying to do this and start the season at the usual time. Someday they hope to have a European Champions League and an Asian Champions League and bring them all together, but one step at a time. Last time there were 4 teams, now 6. Are they evenly matched? Not really. I'll go over that later. There's a big difference between the top 3 and the bottom 3, but upsets are possible. Unlike last time when the Colombian champion was here, this time it'll be all summer leagues, no winter leagues. For winter leagues, there are now 2 tournaments in January and February. They're not called Champions Leagues, but that's what they are. This tournament right here will be for the summer leagues. Let's take a quick look at who these teams are, how they got here, and what they're representing. I won't be running through all the players on the roster like I usually do, just a quick intro to each team. Then we'll look at the tournament schedule and format and make a quick guess as to what's going to happen. And we'll start with the host team, the one seen as the favorite to win it all. From Liga Mexicana de Baseball, the 2024 Serie del Rey champions, Diablos Rojos del Mexico. Rojos dominated the LMB last year with a record of 71-19. They then went on to march through the playoffs, getting one scare along the way, before finishing it off with a 4-game sweep in the Serie del Rey. The most recognizable hitter in the lineup was Robinson Cano, but he wasn't the only big hitter. 4 Rojos hitters, Cano, Lewin Diaz, Jose Marmolejos, and Franklin Barreto, finished in the top 10 in the LMB in OPS. 4 out of 10, that's in a league with 20 teams. Sure, the elevation is a big factor, but it's still pretty amazing. Anyway, Cano and Marmolejos will be there. Other hitters to watch include Carlos Sepulveda, Julian Ornelas, and Jose Perella. Trevor Bauer, another recognizable name, was their ace on the mound. He won't be there, he's back in Japan now. Of the pitchers they will have, there's Dan Straley, former Lotte Giants ace in the KBO, and Tomohiro Anraka, a good NPB reliever a couple years ago. The LMB's overall talent level falls between high single A and double A, but of course the champion team is going to be higher than that. And last year's Rojos team was no ordinary champion. They dominated the league. Some argue it was the most dominant LMB team ever. So easily the most talented team in this tournament. And they're playing at home. Should be the favorite to win this. Leñadores de las Tunas are the 2-time reigning champions of the Cuban National Series, and one of the top teams in the Cuban Elite League presently. Not just any champion, they're trying to build a dynasty. Number 3 in the regular season standings last summer, so not a dominant team, but they know how to win at the right time. Some of their best hitters are Rafael Vinales, Dennis Pena, and Luis Mateo, and they've got some of the league's best starting pitchers in Dario Gongora, Albert Valladares, and Kenny Alfaraz. The Cuban National Series is a well-respected baseball league, but it's not what it used to be. Too many defections have really pulled away too much of the talent. Last year, the league's hitting was led by a couple older returning players, Alexei Ramirez from MLB, and Alfredo Despine from NPB. It was good to have those players back, but it doesn't look good when the top hitters are much older players. And Cuban clubs haven't done so well lately when representing Cuba in international tournaments. Last one was the Series of the Americas back in January. Las Tunas went 2-3 in the group stage, then lost in the semifinals. But when comparing the talent of the 6 leagues represented in this tournament, the Cuban National Series is definitely in the top half. If everything's clicking for them, they can win this. The Kane County Cougars are the champions of the American Association. Last year they were 55-45, second best in the regular season. Perfect in the playoffs, winning all 7 of their games, 3 series, 3 sweeps. Kyle Schwarber and Jazz Chisholm Jr. both played for this team before. One of their top hitters last year was DH Todd Lott. He's back for this tournament. For pitchers, a few guys that played in the Australian League over the winter, like Tyler Beardsley, Colton Davis, and Jordan Martinson. The American Association is usually considered around high single-A level, little lower than the Mexican League, maybe the same as the Cuban National Series. A lot of players in the American Association are former MLB players. Some of the top young players in this league find their way back to the MLB system, or NPB. And this league claimed the first Baseball Champions League 2 years ago. Different team representing the association this time, but we know not to take any team from there lightly. Tigres de Chinandega are the champions of the Germán Pomares Ordóñez League in Nicaragua. Not the league you might be thinking of. The Winter League, LBPN, is the top level of baseball in Nicaragua. And there is also a team called Tigres de Chinandega in the winter. This one is a 20-team summer league, more spread out throughout the country. A lot of the same players from the Winter League, minus the foreign players, the Pomares League is all Nicaraguan, and the players from the Major League system. So not on the same level as the Winter League, but it includes players who've made Nicaragua so successful lately. The national under-23 team took the bronze last fall. The senior national team just requalified for the WBC a month ago. Both included players from the Pomares League. And back in January, a winter team from Nicaragua was second at the Series of the Americas. Nicaraguan teams have been winning everywhere they go lately. For Curacao and Puerto Rico, same thing. It's the winter leagues you know best, but it's the summer leagues you'll find here. The Santa Maria Pirates are representing Curacao. Like Nicaragua, Curacao has been getting a lot out of its club champions lately. They looked good in the 2023 and 2024 Caribbean Series. In the 2025 Series of the Americas, they look like the best team in the tournament, but they lost at the wrong time. So, been on a roll lately. But again, it's the summer league team. Players from the Major League system not included. The Curacao team that competed in the 2023 Caribbean Series was in fact from the Summer League, but it included a lot of reinforcements. Those guys won't be available this time. Finally, Titanes de Florida are representing Puerto Rico Superior AA League, LBSDA. If this were a team from the Puerto Rican Winter League, I'd be picking them to win it. But the LBSDA we don't know too much about. It's Puerto Rico, must be some good players, just not the ones who are playing somewhere else at this time. Titanes are one of the best in the LBSDA this season as well. They haven't lost any steam since claiming the title last year. The 6 teams will be split into 2 groups. Group A will be Rojos, Tigres, and Titanes. Rojos are the clear favorites to win that one. I'd be really surprised if they were upset in group play. Group B, Las Tunas, Kane County Cougars, and the Santa Maria Pirates. I think I don't need to tell you that Las Tunas and Kane County are the favorites. Santa Maria looks like a long shot. But remember, Curacao clubs have a recent history of overachieving, while Cuban teams have been big-time underachievers. I would tag this one with an upset alert, but I'd still pick Las Tunas. Here's the schedule. Tuesday it starts with Kane County versus Santa Maria and Titanes versus Rojos. Wednesday, Santa Maria versus Las Tunas and Tigres versus Titanes. Thursday, Las Tunas versus Kane County and Rojos versus Tigres. Winner of each group automatically qualifies for the semifinals. On Friday, Game 7, the third-place team from Group B meets the second-place team from Group A. Game 8, third-place team from Group A versus the second-place team from Group B. Saturday, Group A winner versus Game 7 winner, and Group B winner versus Game 8 winner. Winners of those 2 games meet in the championship game on Sunday. 6 days, 11 games, and done. So no one gets eliminated in the first stage, but it's important for seeding. You're all probably thinking of the same top 3, right? Rojos, Las Tunas, and Cougars definitely make up the stronger half. I'm thinking the same thing. 4 teams will make it to Saturday though, so between Tigres, Titanes, and Pirates, someone's going to have some bragging rights over the other 2. I don't know a whole lot about these teams, but when you say Nicaragua, Puerto Rico, and Curacao together, you're probably thinking the same thing. Must be Puerto Rico. If these were national teams or Winter League ball clubs, we'd no doubt be choosing the Puerto Rican team. So why should this be any different? I picked Titanes to move on to the semifinals. That would mean Titanes meeting Rojos one more time, and I'm sure Rojos will win that one. The other semifinal would be the Kane County Cougars and Las Tunas. This one's a much harder pick. Should be a good one. I'd like to go with Las Tunas, but like I already said, Cuban clubs have been disappointing in tournaments like this lately. The American Association, on the other hand, won this tournament 2 years ago. So I think it'll be the Cougars moving on. That would set up a championship game between Diablos Rojos of the Mexican League and the Kane County Cougars of the American Association. If the Cougars play smart, they can easily win this. But since Rojos have more talent and they're playing at home, I'll pick them to win it. But don't take me too seriously, I'm just taking a guess based on what I know about these teams. I just wanted to talk about the Champions League before it begins. What do you think will happen? Let us know in the comments. Anyway, that's all for this one. Until next time, this is Baseball International. See ya.